What a, what a week that it has been in the world of wrestling with all of that. Like there was a lot that happened. There was a bunch of stuff that we knew was going to happen, obviously, but there's also stuff that they didn't pull the trigger on, which is actually really the most mind boggling part of the whole entire week so far is the things that they didn't pull the trigger on. You know, and Cena night was good. Seeing his interaction with, R-Truth and so many of the people was good, but they didn't pull the trigger on, him in theory, which was weird. 2.0 is 2.0. Yeah, that's about all they can. They're either really good or they're really bad, but they did give me something that I wanted. So that was good. And then thank God Jericho didn't take the dive off the top of the structure for blood and guts this year, as I still don't know who the hell talked him into doing that in the first place last year. But lots of good stuff mixed throughout. The whole entire thing. Raw had a lot of good stuff. And if I sound slightly off, I just want everyone to know from that I had last night. This show is brought to you by Monster Energy. They're not sponsoring me at all, but this can was the first thing I held down today. Oh, thanks to them. But with Raw, again, seeing John's interaction with everyone throughout the night was good. Seeing him and R-Truth at the beginning put a smile on my face just because all of that. He was his favorite superstar growing up. All of that, just the lunacy with it. But it was good to see that. It was good to see, Jericho, Big Show, and Brian, get to have videos on there too. Even though, they're over there working for AEW. Like that was really cool to see, and I've seen all kinds of stuff. But as to who approved it, apparently Cena's the one that made the request. Anyway, it wasn't even WWE, but it was still cool for them to get that done. If you hear that tapping, that's my dog scratching herself against the door because there isn't a whole hallway to do it out there. But it was good to see that. I enjoyed the Battle Royal for, the most part to get a spot in Money in the Bank and Riddle winning. I completely okay with that. Again, I first saw the gimmick and I was like, nope, turned it off that quick. And he can work. I don't get people that don't think he can work. Like he can work. He's proven that, and I don't get why people still hate. I mean, I get people hate the gimmick. I get it. But the work behind it, isn't terrible. So, at least appreciate what he can do, but he got it. To see, AJ get wasted the way he did, because he's never had Money in the Bank. And I was like, it's coming around that time sooner or later. I mean, if I had him do everything else in the company, would have been nice to see him get a Money in the Bank briefcase one time. Yes. Is the opportunity for that like gone? No. Like there's still gonna be. I think it would be cool just because again, the small time he was there, he did everything. And I think it'd be cool to see it close out with that. I really don't like the stuff with Miz and how they're doing all of that, just because I think they could both be working with younger talent and not going at one another. Just because they could both, tell stories, they could both talk, all of that, So that's my, big problem is that they could be working with younger guys and they're putting them together. And that's my only problem. We all know it's going to be good regardless. It's just, I find it to be a lost opportunity, but hopefully they get to it before he retires, just because I think it'd be cool to see him get everything. Otherwise, Tozawa was eliminated first. I know, shocker. Mustafa Ali and the Mysterios eliminate Veer. Sadly, that means that's not done anytime soon. Love the promo between Cena and the Street Profits. Cena was on a roll with all of them really all night. So all the interaction was really good, in my opinion. And then Montez Ford went out there and defeated Jey Uso in what I thought was a really, it was a good one. You expect it to be a good one with everyone that's involved. So I'm not surprised by it. It was just enjoyable to see a good match. The Judgment Day was back because we saw the internet freaking out. And you listen to, the Wednesday show with Justin. We have talked, he was mad about how they were on the how they're on main event and putting them down to there after they tried to build them up to be this big thing. And it's good to see them on Raw and working with the Mysterios in San Diego. So at least it'll be a good thing. All I can say is, please, God, don't have Dominic actually join them. I mean, does he need a character besides being Ray's son? Yes, but all right, he just won't fit in that. It's non-believable. It will not work. People will not like it. So please don't do that. And again, you call me whatever you want for saying it, but you look at him and it doesn't fit. So please don't, for the love of God, next week do that. Don't hurt my head. I imagine there's already going to be enough of that coming from this weekend because of it. So please don't. It was a nice long Cena tribute video that played. I did enjoy it, but I did think that Roman's entrance is still longer than the Cena tribute video, which is amazing. At least it just seems that way. Please stop talking about Mrs. Balls. That would be great. AJ defeated Miz by count after Miz walked out, but really my takeaway from that is, did you see his face? I think he was busted open like 2 spots, AJ. And it's like they were beating the bejesus out of each other. So see where they go with it. I'm not excited to hear about, Logan Paul being back, but he signed with them at least this time. So it's not just bringing in, a big celebrity thing. Either I'm losing my mind or the camera's doing something really weird. If you're watching it, tell me if you see that right around here. There's something going on there. Freaking me out. So I'm going to look down. Yeah, but he was beaten like bloody in 2 spots. I mean, they were really, really, going at it with that. It could have been so much better. Cena telling Zeke to never forget who he is, and Zeke's reaction made me smile. That was a good one. And then we get to the part that really just, I'm sure everyone that watched it, like how hard they pushed Cena in theory right there, him being all disrespectful and Cena just like all of that. And then later on, they didn't pull the trigger on. Like, I don't know. That was just, I don't know. We'll get to it. But Ezekiel's face, when you tell him, never forget who he is. That was good. So good job to him for that one. Bianca and Mela did a face-to-face, but at least her ass looked good during it. Liv stole one over Alexa Bliss. And there was a big takeaway from that is it's amazing how many weeks in a row Bianca was out there for like the main events. And they didn't give her a headset, but they gave Asuka one. Just a little food for thought as to why the hell they would even do that. And then we get to Vince introducing Cena. And I liked Cena's speech, but I'm sure I was like everyone else, just waiting on Theory. Then he walked up the ramp to give, over to the crowd, gave everyone his armbands, his shirt, all of that. We're always got to come up behind. Then he turned around to go down to Gorilla. And he turned back around. Now they want me to come back. And you're waiting for the attack from Theory and nothing. Like that was the perfect time to set it up as everyone's been talking about it and all that. And that's what they give us. It was the perfect time to do it. I don't know how else they're gonna do it. If they do it all. But I mean, it just seems like odd to me that they didn't pull the trigger on it. Could just be me. But it seemed like the time was now. And they didn't do it, which kind of baffled me. But still, good speech by him. And if he's not going to do it, I mean, they still could set it up. Who knows? But we know Theory will have a good match, with whoever it is, because the kid is a freak. It's just, if it's not going to be Cena, who? And if they're still waiting to pull the trigger, why? On Cena. So it's a really weird thing with all that. Lashley defeated Otis and Gable. Theory is special enforcer. I know. Shocker, 2-on-1 handicap match. Everything you'd expect. Lashley gets W. Cody did a good interview. It was good to see that. Seth and Cena's interaction was good. And look on Cena's face, and he looked up at the size of Omos. That was good. Again, everything Cena did the whole night, interacting with everyone to his speech, and all of it was really good. So I commend him for that. And the videos were good just to see, his rise and everything. Because I was still watching live during those 2 words were uttered out of his mouth, that ruthless aggression thing and the slap. Like, it's just crazy to think that was 20 years ago. Makes me feel real old. But that was really, really, like, it was a good night and good to look back on all those things that you sometimes don't even remember. And again, another shout out because Batista had like the broken back already when Cena did the FU, the AA, whatever they were calling it at the time, off the car through the stage. Good on him for having him go through feet first to back first. So that was good. And then Becky wins a 6-woman last chance elimination match for the spot in Money in the Bank. And whatever we all knew she was going to be in it, it's Becky. And and she's in the damn poster for, heaven's sake. But why did they have her like Zaya? Like, they brought her up, they gave her all this hype. They kept doing more, and they get Zaya gets eliminated first. Don't like it. Don't get it. What was the point? They brought her up with all this, like, built her up to be this machine down, NXT, called her up for like 10 seconds, and they just keep doing this. So it's so bad. But Becky eliminated Zaya. She made Nikki ASH tap out, who I might say looks much better. Like, the black and gold looks better than the blue and gold to me. Doudrop eliminated Shayna Baszler. Then she got rid of Tamina. And then Becky hit the manhandle slam on Doudrop to get the win. Again, we all knew it was going to happen, but I like the way they did it. They did drag it out a little bit at times, but I mean, I like the way they did it. I don't think anyone can disagree with that. We all knew it was going to happen, and at least we got a lot of good matches out of it on the way to the outcome we all knew was inevitable. And as long as they put on good matches, I'm okay with that. So happy that's finally done. Again, we get Riddle and Becky, which adds more things to the show tomorrow night. And, maybe it'll help people buy more tickets, get more people in there because they were having trouble selling tickets. But I mean, when you put all the money and the backing and everything on Roman, and you don't even ever see him, and he's not even on the card, how did they think they were going to sell out big old NFL stadium? Like, that was just crazy. Whoever thought that, never want bragging about the sellout on Raw. It was amazing because for weeks now, I know I saw the code. You can get your tickets for $20. It's easy to sell the place out when you're actually giving people tickets that they can afford. And they're still making money because they wouldn't be putting them at that if they were losing money. So, business model, you get more asses and seats if you could actually afford them, the price of everything right now. Get to NXT 2.0. Seemingly killed off 2 dimes and dumped him over a bridge. Wasn't a fan of the segment. It's just too little too late. See where they go with it from there. But to me, too little too late. The dumbness is already taken over. And that's all I had to say about that. In a shocker, Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez defeated Katana Chance and Caden Cameron. I know, shocker, to become number 1 contenders. Who did not see those two getting pushed, to get the title shot? I know. We did get to see a new type of aggression with Katana and Caden and some moves and stuff. So, that's, improved and better. But I mean, the nicest thing about, like, this Toxic Lounge was back. I mean, that was nice. I just, I don't think anyone was surprised that those two won and are the number 1 contenders. See how everything, goes, but boom, mind altering. Didn't see that coming. Yeah, we did. Gacy still hurts my brain, and it's a shame that's what the GYV have fallen to. This week, I will say, Giovanni Vinci, thank you, for mauling Jiro, because I've never liked him, and every time I see him, it just makes me want to hit fast forward or put my head through a wall. And, you did that. So I'll give you this praise here, and then back to, please God, why couldn't we just keep Imperium intact and have them just roll everything, because they were so good. And then, well, here we are now. But this week, he mauled Jiro, just like I wanted to see. So, thank you for that. I'm pretty sure we were all very happy to see that. Pretty Deadly interrupted, Briggs and Jensen, celebrating their NXT UK tag title victory. They got the tag championships. They hurt my head just looking at them. Yes, boy, that's the point of it. I get it. But again, not surprising that they come out and interrupted them. Kiana James defeated Indy Hartwell with her feet on the ropes in a waste of time. Gacy and the Dyad defeat Roderick Strong and the Creeds. And again, it was a good match. And then the blow up happened. Roddy tagged himself in, stupid on top of stupid on top of stupid. Now Roddy and David Kemp are challenging the Creeds for the tag titles next week. Again, just so much stupid. The match should be good, but I'm sure there's going to be so much dumb. And we'll see what they're actually going to do going forward after they do all of that, because it's very intriguing. So much thought going into, Money in the Bank. I'll think about it more next week, but it's very intriguing how that could go, in my opinion. But what do they do if they have the Creeds, like Roddy and them, lose? And what do they do if they have the Creeds lose and keep doing that? Like, someone has to be moving then. And, it's just weird. Again, we all saw it coming, but how do they do that? That's the big one that I'm trying to figure out, and I haven't come up with exactly anything yet, but it is a thought. Sangha absolutely mauled Zion Quinn. I'm okay with that. Zion Quinn and Apollo Crews looks like it's going to be a thing. I'm okay with that. And again, Apollo actually getting to do things and like build a character, which he never did the first time. Again, go back and watch it. He came, he saw, he was gone within like 10 minutes. And that hurt him. You really didn't have character until that whole accent and all that started, and that's already gone, which at least they liked it as much as I did. But I'm glad to see Apollo finally actually gets to build something, and he's working on it. And that's really cool, because think if they just did this, a few years ago when he first got there, and I really think he was there for like 2 months, maybe. Like, if they let him time to actually develop, think of how differently it all could have turned out, for him if they did. But glad they're doing it now. Wendy Chu and Tiffany Stratton thing hurt my head. Nikita Lyons returns and gets a win by DQ over Mandy Rose when Gigi attacks her. 3-on-1, shocker. Even bigger shocker, Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez come out to make the save, because we don't see stuff like that every 10 seconds across all the shows that are on TV. Like, it seems to be the hot thing. Roll-ups and that, where they have to do it every time, ad nauseum. But she's back. She looked good. And I guess apparently that's going to be the direction for Mandy now. We got to see when Toxic Attraction's whole thing, runs its course down there. When do they call them up? How do they do it all? But it was good to see, Nikita Lyons back, and she did look good, in everything she was doing. So congrats, to her. Knee stuff isn't fun, but at least it wasn't really severe, and she's back already, or whatever it was. And the crowd did not seem to feel the kind of heelish turn by Cameron Grimes during the face-to-face with Braun when he threw him into the buckle, and everything exploded. No one seemed to really care. Not saying that to be a dick, but it was just awkward thing. I think they're trying to process it. But what do they do with Grimes? They make him champion. They move Breaker up. How do they? Breaker win and Grimes goes up, or is it like, how do they do all of that? I'm very interested to see what they're actually going to do with that, because that could be a lot of things. We all know Braun's going to be on the main roster sooner than later. Just how do they do it? Is it right? I think it would be a good move, and it's perfect timing, with SummerSlam coming up. It's just, when do they do it? Because we all know Vince wants him to. He wouldn't have had him on Raw that quick and champion right away, and all that. Vince didn't, see $1 million in him. So see where they go with it, though. It's intriguing, and I like Cameron Grimes. This could be a heel turn, all that. We'll see. I don't know, but it would be really cool, I think, to see him as champion. Or I don't know. We just gotta. He's been there forever, so move him up. I don't, but at least he has character. But look what they've done to everyone else, and they called him up lately. It's just been minus a few. Normally doesn't end well. So we'll see how that goes. But overall, not a bad night. There's just so much predictable stuff that, kind of takes away from it. And then we had Dynamite, Blood and Guts, where Orange Cassidy, with a new song, defeated All Ego Ethan Page with 2 orange punches, gets the slam, gets the W. Shivani interviewing Christian again this week, says, he's sorry the Jungle Boy's whole family isn't dead, except for his mom. Gives the good old call me. motion there, phone in hand. Mouths calm it, like good on him. And then the Luchasaurus, the new Luchasaurus coming out, the gray and all that song, Fireball. I mean, bells and whistles galore, just mauled Serpentico. And Serpentico played it off well too. But the new Luchasaurus, hey, what can I say? I'm a fan of fire and angry music. And it gave me both of those. So good on that. See, how long they drag it out, Jungle Boy and all that, though, because, it's going to be a Luchasaurus thing before he gets to Christian. We know they're going to do it, but it was, hell yeah. Danhausen and FTR defeat Max Caster in the Gun Club. FTR was involved. Like, the second I heard the music, I went, at least it won't suck. And really all we learned was Bowens can walk, and Billy seemingly turned on his sons, Austin and Colton, for Caster and Bowen. So again, see what they're going to do to make all of that anything. But, again, we know how I felt about the whole thing. I never really was a fan of it, and we'll just see how it goes. Jade Cargill defeated the 0-4 this year, Layla Gray, in what was the point match of the night. There was no point. Made no sense. It was for nothing. Yay! And Blackpool Combat Club defeated the Jericho Appreciation Society in Blood and Guts. There's a lot, people coming in and out. Jericho was the last for his team to come in. Eddie Kingston was the last for his to come in, but never mind the order of everything, that everyone came in. I appreciated some little things. Like when Hager and Claudio, Cesaro, whatever you want to call them, when they got together in the We the People chants, and it put a smile on my face, and I tweeted it out, on the Twitter page. And then I actually had the thought going, but think of all the young people that never, ever saw it and are completely confused right now. Sure, there's lots of them going, huh? Like, if you don't know, go back and look at that stuff. Like, he was Jack Swagger, we had Cesaro, Dutch was there. Like, it was, go back and watch that stuff. It was great to see them, get to go at it though. And the chant, still people who appreciate it. Glad that Sammy Guevara took the dive off thing this time, not Jericho. And again, what else was he really in the match for? He's just the guy that always takes those big things, is what it is. But we got to see a swing. Jericho got the swing on top of the cell, cage, structure, whatever you want to call it. And Claudio wins with the sharpshooter on top. And again, it was a good match, and they drug it out nicely. There wasn't a lot of commercial interruption. I said a lot. At least we got a lot of picture-in-picture, which is amazing how they do it that much. But still, good. Claudio got the win. The good guys got the win. That's all you can ask for, really. Mox, by the way, don't climb up to the top. Anyone that watched it will say he looked horrifically uncomfortable trying to get up there. But a good week overall. I mean, and we knew Becky was going to get in. We all know it. Happy to see it happen again. I think we got some good matches out of the whole thing, and it's funny to me, again, that Asuka got to be on commentary, but they had Bianca right there twice, and she just sat there, no headset, no doing any commentary all those weeks, which was weird. No Cena in theory, which again, like I said, we all watched it. We were waiting for it, especially when he turned back around to go back out before he turned down into Gorilla. Like, we all, like, that was it. And they didn't do it, which, maybe they'll do it later. I don't know. But I will say it was extremely weird to also find out this week that Cena isn't a Grand Slam champion because he's never been Intercontinental champion. That's mesmerizing to me. Like, that's actually amazing. Didn't realize that. Miz is two-time Grand Slam champion. Cena hasn't even hit one. That's just, mesmerizing to me, really, when you think about it. One of those things you never think about. And he's never been IC champion. Get the fuck out of here. Like, that's weird. So it'd be cool, regardless if it beats, if he gets that next world title, run to break the record. Give him a short run. Yeah. Give him a couple months, IC champion, if he can clear his schedule just so he can have it. I think that would be, really cool. But how would they get it off of Gunther, which, they're not going to. So that'd be really cool, though. I never noticed that. That was weird. Xia Li getting taken out first in the elimination match. Didn't like it. That they could have done to Nikki because look where she is. They bring her, she again, it was nothing. They repackage her. She's on fire. She's on top of the world. She comes up to the main roster. She's there for 8 minutes and then we don't see her. I just don't get it at all. So maybe they have a bigger plan or they're go. But hopefully they stop just doing that because what was the point if you just turn around and do that? And please, God, no more conversations about the Mrs. Bowles ever. For the love of God. I don't want to hear it. Y'all don't want to hear it. No one wants to hear it. I'm tired of hearing about Miss Balls. That's where I'm going to leave. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I appreciate all of you. I'm getting it up going on Reddit. So I'm available there if you're on there. Trying to get more of it on there. Again, Facebook page. I'm on Twitter at Wrestling Ski. Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Audible, iHeartRadio. Like the shows are all in a lot of places. There's more coming online every day. So please make sure you check them out. And again, subscribe to the shows on YouTube and Rumble. Hit the little subscribe button. It's up in one of the corners. Yeah, around there. Subscribe to it and share them out too. Hit like, comment, because again, the more ratings and likes and all that I get, people type in wrestling, the better chance of seeing the show, which helps everybody. And everyone on Good Pods, thank you very much. Austin, I appreciate you. Ashley, thank you for the support, the ratings and all that. And everyone else, I just saw their names pop up literally right before I started doing all the typing and everything for this. So I appreciate all of you. Enjoy your 4th of July weekend. Fireworks, do everything, safe and be healthy. And I'll be back tomorrow looking like I'm going to have Justin, like we mentioned, on Wednesday to do a kickoff pre-show for Money in the Bank to give all of our thoughts on all that, which I'm really actually super excited about. So make sure you're looking out for that one because that should be a hoot. 2 of us together with an actual topic to talk about, not just scatterbrain. That'll be cool. So be looking for that. I appreciate all of you again. Like, comment, share, rate, do whatever you can everywhere. Mostly share it out. It helps so much. And be back tomorrow. So enjoy your night. Hopefully tonight's wrestling on Rampage. SmackDown doesn't suck. Sorry, Royal Rampage. And until tomorrow morning, my friends, peace.